We've come to the end of our time here today. I would like to thank the guests in the audience. I'd like to thank our esteemed speakers and presenters from other organizations, and especially I'd like to thank the organizers here today. Uh, I did receive some questions ahead of time, and I'd like to answer them briefly as much as time allows. Number one, would an Everloop be affected by earthquakes? And my answer would be no. Even in earthquake-prone areas in the world, for example, Japan, California, um, they've got lots of oil and gas wells in place. If the entire well is subsurface, it's all going to be shaken basically at the same amplitude. We're not going to construct an Everloop across a mobile or an active fault zone. So no, we won't be affected by earthquakes. Number two, volcanic versus metamorphic rock. And I would say that we are agnostic to the actual rock type. It doesn't really matter. What we are concerned with, what is important, would be the achievable rate of penetration, the permeability, the pore space, what's in the pore space, all of these type of things. So for any new potential project, we would evaluate the project on the basis of that. Metamorphic versus volcanic versus sedimentary, it's a matter of, like I said, rate of penetration, permeability, porosity, hardness, compressive strength, things like this. Project update. Our first project in the world, our first commercial project in the world, it will probably be in Germany or in the Netherlands. There's a project in Garrett Street in Germany. We're going through the front end engineering and design process right now with the expectation of going to FID in early next year. So we would begin drilling mid or late next year and then producing electricity a few months or half a year or a year after that. Other than that, we have a very large pipeline of potential projects in Europe, in Canada, United States, certain Caribbean islands, Japan, Philippines, a lot of different places in the world. We don't have any potential projects in in Taiwan yet, but I'd like to get those in our pipeline soon. Commercial viability versus traditional geothermal. Now, we're not competing with traditional geothermal. I'd like to be clear about that. If you have a successful traditional geothermal project, you're not going to stop doing that and put an Everloop in. You might take your Everloop in and put it right beside your traditional geothermal project. Or if your traditional geothermal project fails because you don't have enough flow, you don't have fractures, you might come in and redevelop with an Everloop. These things are possible. But an Everloop and traditional geothermal, they're different. One is conventional and traditional, one is unconventional. So they give you different risk and profitability profiles. State and government support, number 5. For the first project in an area, for the first well in an area, yeah, this would be very much appreciated. As you prove out an area, as you develop your structures in a particular area, it becomes necessary. As time goes on, no, we would not need any. As you develop more production wells and go to project number 5 and 10 and 20 and project 100, we would not need any kind of state support for those wells. They would be pure commercial ventures. When are you coming to Taiwan? To be truthful, I expect it to be there in February this year, but due to COVID-19, it got put off, and I'm sorry I'm not there today. The criteria for me coming is to have some projects to look at and some local partners to move forward with. And in order to be able to do that, we need a good geothermal gradient, a fixed market, and a place to drill, and then we can talk about putting some sort of project framework in place. So if you have more questions, please do come back to me. My email is at the bottom of this slide right now, James Hetherington at ever.com. So I'm looking forward to hearing you. Again, thank you, and have a wonderful day.